So
Yes.
this is regarding two big institutions. One is the dharmic ones, and the other one are the mutts. So what template is there where they can come out from their nutshells, other than imparting to the particular caste, so that most of the problem is solved, and where the HR department can ensure a proper Bharat Mata Ki Jai ka textbook can come out, one. And second big institution is the constitution. We don't know where this word secular was, who has put it, and how do we have to get out of that?
For the second one, read my book, I've addressed this. 100% I've addressed this.
Yeah.
Okay. For the first one, see, this is slightly problematic, and I might as well make this point. Anyone who says that caste is the reason for lack of temple freedom, and caste is the biggest problem because once the state comes out of the temple, which caste will control which temple? And therefore that is the reason that we are going through this question, because since that question has not been answered, we cannot move towards a solution. I'm sorry, it's a fundamentally flawed question, and let me just explain how. Those institutions which belong to a particular sampradaya will be governed by those sampradayas, and anybody else who wants access to that particular institution will respect the sentiments of that sampradaya and step into that particular institution, period. That's how it has always worked. Whether it is the Saiva sampradaya or the Lingayat sampradaya or whatever it is, you are looking at people who call themselves as Hindus can step in, but the control and management will be in the hands of those people who actually are subscribers to that particular sampradaya and who are followers of that particular sampradaya. One. Second, unfortunately we have come to a very reductive notion that sampradaya is equal to caste. No, it is not. In some places sampradaya is equal to caste, where some varnas control certain institutions. But in a good number of these instances, sampradaya is across varnas. You need not be, let's say, a person from one particular varna alone to be a part of the particular sampradaya. Okay? Second, as long as the core rituals, or rather as long as the religious practices of that particular institution are entirely in the hands of those people who subscribe to that particular sampradaya, you can have, let's say, a management system where perhaps others have some say in the management. However, to say that non-members of the sampradaya will equally have rights with respect to the religious affairs of one particular sampradaya is not done. And there's a good reason for this. You are fundamentally, as a dharmic system, a collection of various sampradayas. Therefore, every sampradaya decides to protect its traditions very, very fiercely. That's how, for them, Hinduism starts and ends with their sampradaya. So your idea cannot be that for the purposes of Hindu unity, I will create sampradaya complete, I'll destroy sampradayic identities completely. If you do that, you don't have a viable replacement also. Then what are you going to do with all the traditions that have come as part of this, all the vocations that have come as part of this, all the knowledge traditions that have come as part of this? You will kill everything. So this blunt James Bond hammer, let's say sledgehammer approach, which is to say Hindu unity is the goal and therefore caste is the problem. Destroy caste, destroy sampradaya, destroy diversity. Uske baad kya rahega Hinduism mein? What is left in Hinduism after that? You have created an Abrahamic equivalent of Hinduism, period. Your internal diversity has been killed. So I'm sorry, anybody who says that let us destroy all these identities for Hindu unity, unity is not created like this. Let me tell you how it is created. Christians and Muslims too have diversity in denominational identities within their religions, right? So why do you assume that they are united despite their diverse identities and you are not? Two reasons, two very good reasons. Unity is created also by defining who does not belong to your group. Therefore, they are very clear about who is a non-Muslim and who is a non-Christian. Whereas we are the ones constantly saying everybody is a Hindu. Everybody should be given access to our temples apparently. Even people who have broken our temple should be given access apparently without the need for an affidavit. This is what we are saying. So the one thing that you have to learn from them is the identity and the clarity as to who is the outsider. A community is defined as much by its identification of insiders as much by its identification of outsiders. Second, what rallies people around is not a vague idea of unity, but a specific cause. When Ram Janmabhoomi movement was going on, did people ask each other their castes and contributed to the Kar Seva? No. Where was that happening? According to them, they were all fighting for a cause. Jati was irrelevant, Varna was irrelevant. So identify causes which bring people together, as opposed to simply saying destroy the structure. If you do not have a replacement for an existing structure, you do not have any business destroying the existing structure. Because then you're creating anarchy. You're creating chaos. You're creating the absence of a social structure and a social net, a safety net. Logic and received wisdom and community psychology always tells you, do not destroy something until you have a viable alternative for what exists. Period. So as far as, let's say, temple freedom and HRC, all of this is concerned, let us be very clear that it is possible to retain Sampradayic diversity and still ensure that everybody else has access to those institutions for spiritual solace and worship. And none of this should be given as an excuse to allow the government to stay inside temples, regardless of whichever party may be in power. Have that clarity. Don't make this a political position, make this a religious, civilizational, cultural position. You will survive. Thank you.